Greetings, dear students. Today we will learn about mental health and its components. First of all, we will try to understand health. Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and it's not merely the absence of disease. Hence, mental health is an integral and essential component of health. It's the foundation for individuals' well being and the effective functioning in a community. Mental health is also related to promotion of mental well-being, prevention of mental disorders, and treatment, rehabilitation of people affected by mental disorders. So, we came to understand that if we have to maintain the balance between our surrounding world and our own self, what we should have a complete understanding of the world, of the different members of the society, as well as of ourselves. So, mental health is that tool which is actually helping us to understand our own capabilities, to understand the community, to understand our own emotions. When we came to know our own self, when we came to know about the community, when we came to know about the surrounding environment, then how it is helping? Then it is a state of balance between the individual and the surrounding world, a state of harmony between oneself and others, a coexistence between the realities of self and that of the people and the environment. Now, in order to make it more simple, more understandable, then we will actually focus on some definitions. According to World Health Organization, mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual realizes his or her own abilities. The first of all, mental health is actually recognizing your own abilities. WHO is concerning, is focusing that a person having a good mental health will be aware of his own abilities. It means that the mental health is actually a state where you are recognizing your potentials, where you are recognizing your shortcomings. One is to know that what are my shortcomings, one is to know that what are my potentials, what are my abilities. Then and then, what you are actually doing, you are realizing yourself. So, the understanding the self is the first and the primary concern of the good mental health. Then, when you are understanding your own abilities, what you are doing, you are coping with normal stresses of life. See, life is not smooth. There are ups and downs in life. There are challenges. There is happiness. There is sadness. There is love. There is depression. There is faithfulness. There is unfaithfulness. There are so many and so forth experiences which a person is experiencing in life. So what is important that when a person is known of his own abilities, he can cope with these stresses of life. When you are having the capabilities and having peace in mind, what is important? You can do one important thing. You can work productively because mere working is not important. The work with productive is important. When you are working when you are working productively, that means when you are creating something out of your work, when you are working efficiently, this means that you are working properly. It means that you are having a good mental health. Not only understanding own self, coping your life stresses, working efficiently, productively is not mere indication of a good mental health. Until and unless you are not thinking about your community, you are not thinking about your society, you are not thinking about any issue of the world, you are not actually taking your part to solve the problems of the world, your neighborhood, your community, you are not having a good mental health. So WHO has given a wonderful definition of mental health. That first of all, you have to understand your own abilities. Then you have to cope up with normal stresses of life. Then you can work productively. Then you can contribute to the community at the best possible level. Now, another definition is by Carl Menninger. In 1947, he defined his mental health as it's an adjustment of human beings to the world and to each other with a maximum of effectiveness and happiness. See, when we talk about the world, now what in the world is? There may be material parts, there may be non material parts. Now, when a person is maintaining the balance, when he is adjusting his own self, when he is adjusting in this material as well as the non material aspects of the world, then what actually he is doing, he can only do this when he is actually living with others in an effective way, in a happy way. See, the important thing is that you have to think not only about your own self, but for others also. How you can create the environment conducive so that the people will live effectively with each other, so that the people will engage effectively with each other, so that people will help each other, so that there will be happiness, there will be peace. It is only possible when you will understand the world at a broader level. Now, how you will understand the world at a broader level? When you are actually understanding first your own self, then it is possible that you can understand the world at a broader level. See, the mental health is not only actually that if you have been diagnosed that you don't have any kind of mental illness or mental disorder like schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder. It's not a certificate. It is not guaranteed that you are not having these disorders. It means that you are having a good no, not at all. Now, what is actually the mental health? It's your ability to cope with the stresses of life, with different stressors of daily life. Because you should cope up. You should have the ability to cope up. You should not feel any kind of anxiety. You should have positive attitude towards the life. And if any kind of challenge is there, you should cope up this challenge very effectively and very productively. Now, we will try to understand the components of mental health. Three important components are there which are actually a sign of a good mental health. First, the ability to accept self. See, this is very important that when you are actually respecting your own self, when you are comfortable with your own self, when you are accepting your shortcomings as well as your capabilities, then we can say that you are accepting self. And this accepting self is very important, is a prerequisite condition for a good mental health. Because until and unless you are not accepting your own self, you can't live in peace with your own self. You can't do any work productively. Because first of all, you should know what can I do, how can I solve the problem. You should know that if there is a problem, now why it's there and what is my capability, how I will solve it there. When you are respecting your own self, then when you are learning about your capabilities, after then the next component begins, that is the capacity to be right towards others. You can be only right towards others first when you will understand your own self. Then what you are doing, you are actually taking care of the welfare of the society, of the welfare of the others. If you are a friend, you are a true friend. If you are a husband, you are a loyal husband. If you are a parent, you are a caring parent. Only, and if you are any kind of employee playing any kind of role in the society, you are very honest and dedicated. It is only possible because you have chosen your profession with the passion, with your capability, with your understanding. Because you are knowing the actual value of family, because you are knowing the actual value of community, because you are knowing the actual value of nation. It's only possible then when you are having understanding of your own self, then you can take care of others. And taking care of others is another important sign of a good mental health. And when you are taking care of others, then there are means of your living, means of your survival. Otherwise, if you are a selfish person, it hardly matters because you have not then understood your own self in a proper way. That means you are not having a good mental health. So, to maintaining the relationships is very important. Is next step of the component of mental health. Then another important thing is that the ability to fulfill life's tasks, because life is not smooth. There are sorrows, there is happiness, there are smooth ways, there are rough ways, there are faithfulness, there is unfaithfulness, there is, love, there is deception, there is marriage, there is divorce, there is, there is faith, there is unfaith. So everything in your life, there is death. So important is that you have to understand the challenges. When you are understanding these challenges, what you are doing, you are setting a reasonable goals. You are making own decisions. You know that it's me who have to solve the problems. You came forward to understand the problems. To then you are actually doing one thing. You are breaking that problem into smaller steps, and then finally you are overcoming that problem. That means that you never fear. You never fear of any kind. You never become angry. You never actually feel any kind of guilt. You never become stressful. You never become, feel anxiety. Why? Because you are actually understanding your own self first. Then you are taking these tasks as challenges, as you are aware that it's me who have to complete these tasks, who have to complete these challenges. When you are doing these things, it means that you are having a good mental health. See, now what we have understood till this time, we understand that mental health is actually recognizing your own capabilities. Then, when you recognize your own capabilities, then what you will do, you will definitely do something to benefit your own self. Now, then what you will do, you will try to understand the community. You will then try to give something to the world, to your neighborhood, to your community. Then we can say that you have understood the mental health and you are having a good mental health.